The most significant soul singer in history, its major creator, and its most well-liked and adored artist in the communities was Sam Cooke. Cooke is sometimes referred to as the King of Soul for his unique voice, significant contributions to the genre, and great prominence in popular music. He is regarded as a pioneer and one of the most important soul performers of all time. Sam Cooke's journey began on January 22, 1931, in Clarksdale, Mississippi. He was the youngest of 8 children born to a Baptist minister and his wife. Even as a young boy, his exceptional vocal talent shone brightly, leading him to frequently grace the choir of his father's church. A pivotal moment arrived when the Cooke family relocated to Chicago's vibrant South Side, where Reverend Charles Cooke swiftly became a prominent figure in the religious community. During the 1930s, Sam and 3 of his siblings embarked on a musical adventure of their own, forming a group known as the Singin' Children. Although his singing repertoire centered around gospel music, Sam remained captivated by the popular music of the era. The harmonious and melodious sounds of influential groups like the Ink Spots resonated deeply within him, leaving an indelible mark on his musical style. Subsequently, this influence would be evident in iconic songs like You Send Me and For Sentimental Reasons. During his teenage years, Sam Cooke found his place as a member of the Teen Highway Quartet of Cousins, a gospel group that graced churches and religious gatherings with their harmonious tunes. It was through this affiliation that he crossed paths with the Soul Stirrers, an esteemed gospel ensemble and one of the nation's finest. In 1950, Cooke officially joined their ranks, marking a significant milestone in his musical journey. Even if Sam Cooke had never embarked on a solo career, his name would still resonate with gospel circles due to his remarkable contributions to the Soul Stirrers. Over the following 6 years, his influence within the group and his standing in the black community steadily grew. He ascended to stardom, amassing a fiercely loyal and adoring fanbase of his own through unforgettable performances on soul-stirring tracks like Touch the Hem of His Garment, Nearer to Thee, and That's Heaven to Me. The Soul Stirrers thrived as one of the top acts signed to Art Roup's prestigious Specialty Records label. With his extraordinary talent, Sam Cooke could have continued to flourish as their most celebrated vocalist for years to come. However, Cooke harbored ambitions that reached beyond the confines of the religious community and transcended racial boundaries. He yearned to captivate audiences far and wide with his soulful voice, which posed a significant challenge at the time. Merely recording a popular song risked alienating his dedicated gospel fanbase in an instant. In 1956, Sam Cooke cautiously dipped his toes into the realm of popular music, testing the waters with a single titled Lovable. To avoid drawing excessive attention from his existing audience, he adopted the name Dale Cooke for this endeavor, with production credits going to Bumps Blackwell. However, this step proved consequential as it led to Cooke's departure from the Soul Stirrers and their record label. The outcome of this transition was nothing short of extraordinary. Cooke's original composition, You Send Me, emerged as one of the most commercially successful singles of the 1950s. Released on the modest Keane Records label, it sold over 2 million copies and soared to the top of both the pop and rhythm and blues charts. While it may sound mellow by today's standards, You Send Me was a groundbreaking soul record of its time. It skillfully fused elements of rhythm and blues, gospel, and pop, forging a fresh and evolving sound. For the next 2 years, Cooke remained with Keane Records, during which he delivered an enchanting array of romantic ballads and captivating teen pop singles that defined the era. Among these gems were notable tracks like For Sentimental Reasons, Everybody Loves to Cha-Cha-Cha, Only 16, and What a Wonderful World. Each of these records exuded extraordinary beauty, capturing the hearts of listeners. While releasing singles, Cooke also ventured into album projects, most notably his memorable tribute to Billie Holiday, aptly titled Tribute to the Lady, where he showcased his vocal prowess on songs associated with the legendary singer. Despite his success with Keane Records, Sam Cooke grew dissatisfied with the business arrangements and the limitations associated with recording for a small label. Simultaneously, major record labels such as Atlantic and Radio Corporation of America Records expressed interest in signing him. Atlantic, renowned as the premier rhythm and blues-oriented label in the country, seemed like a promising option, but they demanded ownership of Cooke's publishing rights. Recognizing the significance of retaining his copyrights, Cooke saw a different path. Instead, he inked a deal with Radio Corporation of America Records, one of the world's three largest labels at the time. However, Cooke's ambitions extended beyond being a recording artist. He took the initiative to establish his own publishing company, Cags Music, and a record label called SAR. Through SAR, Cooke would not only release his music, but also produce records for other artists. Notable signees to SAR included the Soul Stirrers, Bobby Womack, former Soul Stirrers member Johnny Taylor, Billy Preston, Johnny Morissette, and the Sims Twins. Cooke's initial output under Radio Corporation of America exhibited a diverse range of styles, making for a somewhat eclectic body of work during the first 2 years. He broke new ground in both pop and soul with the single Chain Gang. This remarkable track combined sweet melodies with gritty, evocative sensibilities while introducing a touch of social consciousness to Cooke's repertoire. Chain Gang climbed to the number 2 spot on both the pop and rhythm and blues charts, becoming his biggest hit since You Send Me and signaling a bold new phase in his illustrious career. Amidst Sam Cooke's Radio Corporation of America discography, several standout singles upheld his promise as an artist. The bluesy and romantic Sad Mood, the soulful and idyllic Cupid, and the captivating Bring It On Home to Me all achieved both critical acclaim and substantial sales figures. However, the initial 2 albums assigned by Radio Corporation of America, namely Hits of the 50s and Cooke's Tour, proved to be underwhelming. These long-play records, comprised of lackluster pop tunes and arrangements that failed to showcase Cooke's true gifts, fell short of expectations and did not fully capture his artistic essence. In 1962, Cooke released Twistin' the Night Away, a belated yet immensely successful twist album. It soared in popularity and became one of his best-selling long-play records. However, it was not until 1963 that Cooke truly found his stride as an album artist with Night Beat. This masterpiece showcased a beautifully self-contained and introspective collection of blues-oriented songs delving into darker and moodier themes. Night Beat comprised some of Cooke's most exceptional and challenging recordings up to that point. By this time, Cooke had established himself predominantly through his exceptional singles, which were considered some of the finest musical achievements of the era. He had developed 2 distinct audiences, captivating both white teenagers and young adults, as well as black listeners of all ages. Cooke harbored a deep desire to transcend racial boundaries and appeal more extensively to white audiences. He aspired to open doors for black performers that had, until then, remained largely shut. Tragedy struck in mid-1963 when Sam Cooke's infant son tragically drowned, rendering him unable to work in the studio for the remainder of the year. However, during this hiatus, under the guidance of his new manager, Alan Klein, Cooke achieved the financial and creative independence he had long desired. He secured a groundbreaking advance, surpassing any previous amounts given to a black performer, and obtained ownership of his recordings starting in November 1963. Cooke also gained creative control over his music, setting the stage for a promising breakthrough. When Cooke returned to making records, he found himself immersed in the vibrant musical landscape of the early 1960s. He closely followed the music scene and became captivated by Bob Dylan's powerful anthem, Blowin' in the Wind. The song's poignant exploration of the struggles faced by Black Americans and oppressed minorities, as well as its success in the hands of Peter, Paul, and Mary, convinced Cooke that the time was ripe for songs that addressed more profound subjects beyond carefree dancing. The outcome of this realization was A Change Is Gonna Come, widely regarded as one of the most exceptional songs to emerge from the civil rights movement. It symbolized a harmonious fusion between Cooke's gospel roots and his ventures into pop music. Arguably his most significant composition, it represented an artistic pinnacle for Cooke. During this transformative period, he also pioneered a new, more advanced dance-oriented soul sound with the release of Shake. These two groundbreaking recordings marked the dawn of a new era and a pivotal phase in Cooke's career, with seemingly boundless opportunities awaiting him on a global scale. Sadly, on December 11, 1964, early in the morning in Los Angeles, Cooke got into a fight with a female visitor and the motel's night manager, and he was shot to death while supposedly attempting to assault the manager. He had just turned 33. The case is still steeped in mystery and uncertainty, and it was never looked into in the same way that the murder of a celebrity of his status would be today. Goodbye and rest in peace, legendary singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke.